Okay, so I'm going to move on to the neck now. The neck blank I've got is not quite flat, so I've got it in a flattening jig. I'm going to flatten it down and then we'll see where we'll go from there. So I'm happy with that, with all the work I've done on the bench, lowering the bench height, getting a proper vise, and yeah, just working on technique a little bit. That's fairly quickly got that a nice square edge, so yeah, delighted with that. Still need to work on my planing technique, but now I can't blame my plane, I can't blame my bench, I can't blame my vise, I can only blame me. That'll never do it. I've got a decision to make. On the Jaguar, the adjustment for the truss rod is done through the heel as opposed to through the headstock. Not that that's an issue, but I think it just might be a bit more awkward in practice. If you have to adjust it, you've basically got to take the strings off, take the neck off, or certainly loosen the strings and take the neck off to get access to adjust it. But then again, how often do you adjust it? I never did like drilling that hole in the headstock, so maybe I'll just go with the tradition and stick it in the heel. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So what I think I might do is just leave a little bit of wood there so I can drill a hole into the end to meet up with that, rather than taking it right out. At least it retains the truss rod and there'll be no float. So maybe if I made a stop there and there. that's it, so there we go. Before I glue the fretboard on, I need to find out where the nut lies in relation to the fretboard. I'm not going to do that tonight because it's been quite a long day. Don't want to make a mistake at this stage, so I think we'll just leave it at that for just now, and we'll come back tomorrow and get it glued on. So we'll see what happens. Time for some dinner. Okay, so I'm going to trim the fretboard to length now. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer either end, but I've got it set up here so I can get a nice square cut. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, so what I want to do now is drill a couple of dowels in to hold the fretboard in place for the glue up. I've got the fretboard centralised on the neck blank. I've screwed up here in the past where I've drilled too deep, and when I've carved the neck, the cocktail sticks end up showing through. So I want to be ultra careful here. So I've got a little flag set on my drill for the depth. So while I'm waiting on the glue curing on the fretboard, I've knocked up a little fret marker cutting jig. Aaron from Adair Guitars had posted the idea, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool, I like that. I've added a backstop so that when I push my rod through and cut, I'm left with 2mm of the fret ring marker. So let's go on and see how it works. Okay, I'm reasonably happy with that. It's a nice 2mm ring, which is what I wanted, but I was kind of hoping that on the inside it would drop down into here, and then I just unscrew it at the end and take all 10 out. But there's a little rag that the saw leaves on, don't know if you can see it there, possibly not, that causes it to stick. So maybe a little modification, maybe make this route a little deeper and it'll fall down into the collection point. But all in all, it makes the job easier, yeah. And that's what it's all about. I don't think any of these are going to fall out, but a little bit of glue never hurt. That's it. They look quite nice in the rosewood. Yeah, that looked really nice in the rosewood. Okay, next day, early morning, bit chilly. Let's get these clamps off. Sweet. We'll just trim this excess off on the bandsaw. Okay, so before I get onto the loathsome job of radiusing the fretboard by hand, I am going to just deepen some of these, all of these frets just a little bit, because I know I'll be sanding them out, so yeah, right, so I'll deepen them now. You get the idea, this goes on for ages, so I'm going to get some music going and I'll catch you back when it's radiused, okay? Okay, so that's it radiused to 80 grit, took a fair time and a lot of dust. I'm going to do it at 120 grit and then I'm going to leave it and then put the fret markers in, so I'll just... Yeah, it doesn't really need much at the 120 just to take out the 80 grit scratches, but I will go up and polish it up to about 3000, but for now that's good enough. I can fit the fret markers, get them flattened down and then get them polished up along with the rest of the fretboard. Okay, so I'm going to reinstate my centre line. I'm going to get my positions marked for the fret markers on the fretboard. We'll get them drilled, we'll get the fret markers fitted. So let's just start off with this. So that's it sanded to 800. I'm going to have to stop there because my next grit's 5,000, so it's a bit of a leap. But yeah, looking really nice. Really pleased with these fret markers. Okay, so off camera I have finished reracing the fretboard. I've gone up and polished it to 5,000 grit, so looking nice there. I need to get the slots cut to their final depth. So with the fret wire and the vernier, obviously measured the depth of the tang and set my saw to just slightly more than the fret requires. So I'll get on and get the frets to the final depth, and then we can get on with the fretwork. So while we've got it in the vise, I might as well just put a little chamfer in these. Okay, so I think that's probably enough for one video, so I'm going to call a halt to this one here. When I come back in the next one, I'll get on with the side fret markers and get the frets in and fitted. I've got a new tool to help me with that one, so I'll let you see that in the next one. But if you've made it this far, thanks for watching, and please hit like, subscribe and all that if you want to keep up with this build and future builds. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye now.